What's going on? And welcome to another edition of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Ethan, it's a very special and exciting episode, man. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready. It's a historical week in wrestling.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't think I've felt quite like this since what, 96, 97?
Ooh, yeah, it's been a long time since I had to flip from USA to TNT. It's been about a good damn near 20 years, bro.
Damn near. I mean, but we're gonna dive into all of that. We'll talk some NXT. We'll talk obviously Dynamite, AEW's initial maiden voyage on TNT on last night.
Yeah,
Yeah, and all the
popping
things.
their cherry, so to speak.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit of everything. But I mean, I gotta say before we get started, I never thought that I would see the anticipation and the attention that everybody is starting to pay to wrestling again. For as a fan, a lifelong fan, this is amazing.
Yeah, I'm
I never
happy for
thought we'd
wrestling.
see this. Yeah, I never thought we'd see this again. And
Right.
everybody's talking about it. People having watch parties, and Wednesday nights apparently is the place to be now. And we'll get more into that as the show goes on or whatnot. But I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do. I'm gonna kind of let you. I'm gonna sit here and just kind of let you talk, and I'll insert myself as I feel. But I think you got some stuff you want to say, so I'm gonna let you get this off your chest. But
You
I
know
mean, I
what?
just wanted to throw.
I think before I get to my chest, I think probably you want to start with the new crop in town, the AEW show. Want to start there and then kind of work our way on.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, let's start there. That's the news everybody wants to talk about. What did you think? What did you like? What didn't you like? Why didn't you like it? I mean, go, man. You got the floor.
All right, for AEW's first show, you can definitely tell it was the first show. A lot of different things I saw that looked promising. It was quite a few things that I saw that they don't need to do again.
I don't
One,
I don't know if you noticed, but I just opened the Coke Zero for this.
oh yeah, well, drink up.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
Okay, first of all, one thing that they don't need to do again. I appreciate them wanting to do the double feature commercial and telecast thing, showing their match at the same time as the commercial. But if you're gonna do that, make sure it's at least some kind of low point in the match. The first commercial they took was after the Cody Rhodes Sammy Guevara match, while Chris Jericho is attacking Cody. So Chris Jericho comes and attacks Cody. He gets a couple hits in, then cuts the commercial. And then on one side you see the commercial, on the other side you still see Chris Jericho attacking Cody Rhodes. So the attack lasted longer than it should, and then you didn't get to hear the pop for a lot of the stuff that Chris Jericho did, like the two code breakers. You didn't hear the pop for that. So that kind of killed it. And when you came back to the full screen from the commercial, the motherfucker's still attacking him. And where they should have put the commercial is right after Chris Jericho was done. But instead, they decided to show a long ass replay of him attacking Cody. They basically showed the attack all over again of what you missed while you were at commercial. I admire the thought process of having a commercial break like that so people wouldn't be able to turn the channel, because WWE did the same thing with NXT, except they did it better. They did it at the right moments. So that was like one of the main things I had. But I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the first match. Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. Now,
Good
right
man.
off, it it was good. It was good for what it was. Sammy Guevara, he's a young kid, still in his early 20s, still, working his way up. So that was good for Cody to give him a nod like that. Hey, me and you're gonna have the first match on this flagship show. and we're gonna go out here and have a pretty decent match. It was cool, It was cool for what I saw. There were a couple botches, but you're gonna do that when you're nervous. You're having the first match. That's understandable. And Sammy Guevara is very young. Still got some work to do in the ring, and he got charisma out of the fucking ass. Him and MJF are two of the most charismatic guys in AEW that I've seen. So I'm not disappointed in him with that. The only thing, and I want to know if you thought this too, that spot where Brandy Rose was on the outside.
God damn. I swear to you, I was like, please don't bring up the Brandy Rose. Are we talking about the bump?
Yes, we are talking about the bump, but not just talking about the bump. Look, did you notice how long she was standing there pointing at Sammy Guevara, just like belittling him and berating him? It seemed like an eternity. And it's like, at first it was like, okay, she's talking to shit, but then it was like, okay, she's waiting for a spot. She's waiting for a fucking spot. And it made it too obvious. I just didn't like that look.
I've said this before. I love Cody's mind for the business. I love the fact that he's doing this. Somebody needed to stand up, and this is him saying, I love that. I don't like his matches because they're very predictable and it's the same shit. I am tired of seeing Brandy Rose take bumps. And they usually always taking either they given by Cody or she's taking them in defense of Cody. Can we be a little bit more creative, please? First off, I don't even know why she's out there. And this whole Triple H Stephanie McMahon vibe I'm getting off of them is really pissing me off.
I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it either.
I don't understand. We know that y'all basically founded the company because I don't give a fuck how many EVPs you got. This is his idea. It's going to live and die with him. So don't give me this shit about, it was the Bucks and Kenny Omega and Cody. Fuck you. No, it was not. Because the Bucks and Omega don't have the goddamn mind to do something like this. And the truth be told, if the Rhodes name wasn't attached to it, you probably wouldn't get you wouldn't be getting the look you're getting now.
They will ride off into the sunset with Cody before they ride with the other three.
Right. That's just simply fact. Because I gotta believe that his name and who his father was has a lot to fucking do with that. But I mean, getting back to the, can we do something else? Hell, can Brandy be in the back? Is that too much to ask? Can she be like head of production or something? I am sick of seeing Brandy Rose. She can't wrestle. She's not charismatic. She can't cut a promo. She's out there basically, for lack of better words, to just kind of stand there, look good, take a bump. She wears some very revealing shit, and that, hey, if you into that, great. I don't have a problem with it, but it's almost like
she's gonna have a fucking wardrobe malfunction one of these damn days.
Well,
that's what's gonna happen.
Not even that. It's like, at what point, when she's standing there, I'm like, okay, at what point is she gonna take a bump or interfere in a match or whatever the fuck it was? Like when they had the match of Double or Nothing, she fucking threw the water or spit the water and fucking Dustin Rhodes. It's always something else. The fucking elbow drop she took from Nick Aldis at All In. I don't know if you ever saw that. Yeah. The fucking table spot with Kenny Omega when he and Cody had the match or whatnot, doing the Bullet Club Civil War bullshit. It's like, how many fucking bumps are you making a living taking fucking dangerous spots that most women wouldn't normally take? And I'm not being sexist. If you want to jump off tables, that's between you and I. I mean, you and your personal preference. I personally, as a consumer of your product, would not want to see every week Brandy Rose take a fucking bump. That's me. I'm sick of it. Can we please move on to something else?
I mean, goddamn, they had a fucked up and then just certain things in the match didn't work.
McMahon has not taken as many bumps for Triple H or in spite of Triple H as Brandy Rhodes has.
It did absolutely nothing for the match, in my opinion. And who in the hell would take a bump like that from a suicide dive into a steel guardrail? She didn't even protect herself right, man.
I mean, exactly. Yeah.
She
what
slammed the
is
back of her head into that shit.
what's the fucking purpose? What is the fucking purpose?
Then she hits Sammy Guevara in the head with the shoe. You would think that would end the match. Like she hit him in the head with the shoe. Cody does the move, puts him down. 1, 2, 3. No, motherfucker kicks out. Then
Well,
not only
yeah, there were a lot of false finishes in that match, and I think
but not even
sometimes
good false finishes. You know,
right, but it took away from the excitement to a degree to me
right?
because it's like, well, fuck, this match going longer than it fucking should. I mean, you've
Yeah.
done what you need to do, but now y'all trying to, and I'll get to that in a little bit or whatnot. Now y'all trying to do too much. I just fucking, I'm already pissed about the shit, or whatnot. Great match to me, a little bit more of the flippy shit than I wanted to see, but I still loved it. I didn't have a problem with the match.
The false finishes could have been better. It could have been like a real 2.5. Could have been as the hand was going down for 3 for some of those. But I didn't like the way it ended. All those false finishes, and then it ends in a fucking roll up.
Yeah,
what the hell?
Yeah,
the fucking roll up. Who the fuck? Why do you have to roll him up? It just rubbed me the wrong way. So matter of fact, I turned to NXT on that match. Yeah, that's right. I watched NXT live and I DVR'd AEW. So I was like, you know what? Let me just cut to this right quick while Matt Riddle and while they was on a little commercial and stuff. I'm like, let me see what Cody them doing.
I will say the little double screen feature during commercial breaks is something that I think is pretty cool. Now, will that continue? I don't know, but I mean, I thought that was pretty decent, But
yeah, I feel like it's gonna continue.
I could go another year without seeing another Brandy Rhodes bump. That's just me. I don't want to see that.
It's not working. He needs to get her pregnant, so she has an excuse not to take a bump.
You can't say that.
I just said it. I'm just saying, it's not working. But then, we don't even know how good she is in the office, so we haven't seen her strengths.
Well, I mean, I just don't want to see the bump again. I don't give a fuck what they do. Put it in the truck. In the production truck. I don't give a fuck. But I don't want to see the bump again. I'm just telling you that shit pisses me off because it's like, okay, I kind of can predict how his matches are going to go by the fact that she's standing out there. I don't want to do that.
Right.
He actually seems like he's wrestling better now that he's got his own fucking company.
But usually, only the heel have a valet that gets involved in the matches. He's obviously a face, but she gets involved in the matches.
They're really milking this whole king and queen of AEW bullshit.
I don't get that vibe neither.
we get it. We get it. Y'all made the company. Thank you. I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. Now, can we please fucking move on? Please. Yeah. I'm sure there's something y'all can find for Brandy to do. She can sell T-shirts. But, I mean, fuck, she couldn't wrestle. The match she had was terrible, so that's why you haven't seen her wrestle another match. She fucking can't talk. It would be different if she was the mouthpiece, but you don't need anybody to do that. Cody's fucking great at that shit. It's got to be something y'all can find for her to do. Please.
Let her do interviewing like she did in WWE.
Yeah, but I think that would be a little
ring announcing, something
beneath her because they are very much milking this king and queen shit, and I just really wish we would move on. But I digress. Okay. Next match.
Next match was MJF versus Cutler. I don't know who the fuck Cutler is.
But after seeing this match, awful.
I don't want to see his ass again.
Yeah, MJF had to carry that match. That match was fucking awful.
Dude slips off the fucking turnbuckle.
I was finna say that's the only spot that ruined the entire fucking. That just ruined everything.
I've never seen any fucking thing like that shit. And then he tries to sell a calf injury. He tries to sell it. And it doesn't go over well with the crowd, actually. They were just happy MJF won, but the dude slips off the shit.
Using him as an underneath guy.
He needs a legitimate fucking storyline.
They gotta figure this out. I need them to do something.
They have to. It's a waste of him. He cut a good ass promo. You think
He
he's
did.
about to have just a good? I mean, he's doing his heel shit is getting over in the match. He's doing good in the match,
Oh,
but
he's a heat.
come
Clearly.
on, yeah, dude just couldn't carry his weight. Like, what the fuck is this dude? Don't put that dude in the goddamn ring ever
Public
again.
announcement, and I don't know if it'll ever get out. Not to cut you off, I don't know if it'll ever. If you're listening, or if anybody's listening and can get this to AEW, please, dear Lord, stop putting MJF with these fucking job guys that really shouldn't have jobs in the first place. If it's not this guy, it's fucking Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela and whoever the fuck. I don't want to see that shit. Okay,
Backyard
especially
wrestlers.
could be a top guy. This guy's gonna be a top guy somewhere. Please use him correctly, please. As a fan
While
who
he's
loves
still
your
young.
product, while he's still young, as a fan who really likes your product and particularly likes this guy, please use him the way he is intended to be fucking used. Thank you from the consumer. Fuck you, and please get it done. Carry on.
I like that PSA. That was a great way you put it. I think they're gonna go into it.
I'm just sick of seeing it. The first couple times I was like, all right, I'll let it slide. Maybe they'll do something better once they figure out who the fuck to put him with. But you could have had a match between him and Guevara, and fucking that would have been better than this shit. Jesus.
And I might be jumping ahead a little bit, but I would have put him in that stable with Chris Jericho before I put Sammy Guevara in there. Why couldn't Cody go against
Yeah,
MJF?
but
Oh wait, no, Cody and MJF, they're kind of friends. See, that's the thing. MJF is a heel, but he's friends with Cody on the programming. Like he has Cody's back. That's the only confusing thing. He's a heel, but he's in the corner of a face. It's like
no,
something
I get
clicked in there.
it. Yeah, definitely a little schizophrenic storytelling going
Yeah,
on here.
yeah. But that match sucked, and it sucked balls. But what was the next match? Was the next match Hangman and Pac, or was it Nyla Rose and Rio?
Let's just do Hangman and Pac because we're gonna be here a while left for the women's match.
Okay, Hangman and Pac, best match of the night.
Stole the show.
Agree.
Stole the fucking show.
Okay, I have nothing bad to say about this match. I have nothing to critique on this match. I love the storytelling. I like how we didn't get the match at what was that, Double or Nothing, but they brought it for the first televised show. I'm happy with the outcome.
I've seen Pac wrestle 2 matches in AEW, and both of them have been phenomenal.
Yep.
Guys,
I've never been disappointed by Adam Page.
Nope.
Seeing him on this program, I've never been disappointed by him, and I'm looking forward to him.
2 surefire stars that they need to use in some capacity.
Yes.
Heavily.
I like the finish. I like the low blow at the end. Then Pac hitting his move on the back.
Impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. The body control, it's nothing more I can say about this match. It was just flawless. Flawless.
A+.
Textbook wrestling. Yep.
All the way.
So
I'm
now,
not being, folks, if you're listening, I'm not being a jackass. I just know what's coming. So I'm trying to, I'm trying to drag it out a little bit because this is about to get ugly.
Yeah, I just took a sip of my cran grape juice. It's very good. Okay. So we come to
the fine to the ridiculous, huh?
Yeah. We might as well get it over with. We got one more match after this, I think.
Yeah.
And brother, next match was the first match of the women. It was to determine the first ever AEW Women's Champion. Now this is historical. This is supposed to go down in history. Everybody who holds that belt is supposed to look back at this match and think, wow, that's the bar. That's where the bar is set. This is what we have to top. And right off the back, we get a fucking little 93. I said 98 last night on Twitter, but somebody corrected me, said she's 93 pounds. I'm like, oh shit, well she must be 5 pounds from the ring gear alone, which would bring the total up to 98. But anyway, I digress from that. Going against a powerhouse, someone who you're building as a powerhouse, in Nyla Rose, which, I mean, she's first transgender wrestler, but that's not even important. I mean, we're having fucking intergender matches all over the fucking place. It doesn't really fucking matter.
Which you don't agree with.
I don't like intergender wrestling. Like, that shit is just, the intergender shit just, some shit just don't work. And it's just not, I wouldn't say believable. Well, yeah, believable, but it's just, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. I'm not into it. Never really been into it. So, anyway, so they unveil the women's championship. Did you see that?
I saw something that looked like a women's championship that they got from the session counter.
Right. I thought it was an engagement ring when I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is this? As the fucking referee is holding it, his hands are bigger than the damn belt.
Oh, man.
So it seemed like a spoiler from the jump before the match even began of who this title is meant for. It's not meant for a 169-pound motherfucker.
I swear to God, I said that. I was like, I'm looking at this, and I can I can't see her getting that around her goddamn waist, known for what's she gonna do? Wear it around her neck? I said that shit when I seen it, but I was trying not to be negative, so I just watched the fucking match.
Right. I tried not to be negative too. I was optimistic about it, but I knew it was gonna be some fuck ups coming in because it's their first time on national television and they don't have their shit together. And the roster pretty much sucks for the most part with some of the people they brought in. But the women's division is the only division that I really was even more optimistic about because I saw some of the talent that they had in the Battle Royale. And I was like, well, if they bring some of these women, they'll be all right. So when they
signed the chick from the Battle Royale, the last entry, I just for the life of me cannot remember her name.
Was that Mercedes Martinez? Was it?
Yeah,
I hope they did.
Yeah, she's pretty big deal.
She's been around for a while, so
yeah, she has.
There's
but
a lot of good women wrestlers, but I was just confused to why the first match with Nyla Rose and Rio. I was just like, what the hell? Who the hell is Rio, first of all? Don't know her. But I was like, well, shit, let me check it out. Well, when I see her, she's 5'1" and less than 100 pounds. When Nyla Rose is 5'7", 169 pounds.
I thought it was 185.
It might be 185, but when I Googled her weight, they billed her for 169, but could be 185. But anyway, she's looking at them next to each other. Does this even look like it would be a legitimate fight? Like, goddamn. I mean, the match ran longer than it fucking should, in my opinion, because of the size difference. A smaller person is not going to be able to put up that much of a fight against.
She was selling the fuck out of them punches.
You're talking about Nyla?
Yes.
But it was almost comical, bro, because the kicks looked so. You can tell she put her all into the kicks.
I saw what was it, like 30 double stomps? It felt like.
Yeah, and they were weak. They didn't even like.
One that fucking almost bench pressed her out the fucking building on.
Yeah. I remember that one. I was like, whoa, that's ugly. She could have easily broke her legs, as small as she is. And it was just things like that. Things like that was just not working. And one guy on Twitter, when I, gave my opinion on the match, I'm always getting into something on Twitter, but I think I gave this guy a kind of easy pass. He said, get over it. They had a classic David and Goliath match. Just enjoy it.
That's not a David and Goliath match.
Exactly. And I want to harp on that point for a second. Now, if this was David and Goliath match, a true David and Goliath contest, Sherrod, you've been brought up in the church just like I have, right? You're pretty familiar with the Bible and the story of David Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the story in the Bible, the good book says that David, smaller than Goliath, amen, had to beat Goliath using a weapon. Now, in this match, why the hell would Nyla Rose, who was Goliath, use weapons to beat David, who was real? Nyla Rose is the first person to pull out weapons. I don't get it. You don't need weapons. She's extremely smaller than you. You don't need weapons. I understand wanting to crush her, but at the same time, if I'm booking this, I'm booking to where the smaller person is using whatever means to beat the bigger person, because they're going to need to exercise every avenue possible to get this title win, to get this win, to survive this. This is a game of survival. It's not a wrestling match. It's a game of survival.
Can I interject for a second?
Yes.
At what point in the middle of a fucking title match that is scheduled for one fall do you allow weaponry to be used?
What are the fucking rules? That's what I want to know. There's various times where I feel like a disqualification should have went or a match should have stopped, but I guess that shit doesn't apply in AEW. I'm confused.
You know, and I was trying to be objective, you know, but I can't help but wonder. I'm gonna let you finish because I got something I want to say, and I'm trying to let you get it all out. So yeah. I'm going to let you finish, but I just wanted to interject that.
Oh, hey, I understand. I actually forgot about that point. But I'm glad you interjected that. That's why we're doing this podcast together, because I forget some shit. I'm just so pissed off in the heat of the moment that they kind of shitted on their own title on the first match. You know, in my humble opinion, they shitted on their women's title with that, because that was just crap. Like I told the guy on Twitter, you think that someone who's looking at the product for the first time, who doesn't know either one of these two, do you think he's going to enjoy that? Hell no. That shit was sloppy. It was very sloppy too.
Well, it ain't even just about the enjoyment of it. It's going to be fucking very hard for you to buy into what the fuck these guys are doing, because you're looking at this saying there's no way that this is real, right, or has an element of realism to it, because I got a fucking person who's probably 95 pounds soaking wet that's fucking beating up on somebody that's 200 fucking pounds and look like a regular fucking human being.
And then this big motherfucker is putting her, Nyla Rose put her in the damn submission like twice, the same submission move twice. And it looked terrible.
Go ahead. I'm trying to let you finish, because see, when I go, I'm about to come at this pretty goddamn hard.
Oh, please do. This, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna pretty much dissect this match to the fucking ashes, because it was just so many things wrong. Yeah, the commercial break thing again. They took a commercial break when Nyla did a good spot, coming off the top rope while Rio's hanging on the top rope, and hit her with the knee in the back of the head. That was a good spot where you could have got a good pop. The crowd was on his feet. You could have heard the pop. That could have did a lot.
But you fucking missed it because they don't got their commercial break.
Exactly. And you got her actually struggling to get out of a submission. Then you have this little motherfucker. I'm sorry to keep calling her a little motherfucker, but that's my terminology when I'm pissed off. You keep having Rio. Well, you have Rio do certain moves that no 90-pounder would ever fucking do. A fucking backdrop off the top rope? Or was it like a Samoan drop? It looked like a backdrop or a Samoan drop. I don't know, but it's something that someone her size wouldn't do to somebody like Nyla Rose. And it just looked terrible. It looked like if I was having a wrestling match with a kid in the elementary school parking lot or something. It just looked terrible. It didn't look good. And the crowd is putting this over. People are just so fucking happy that they got something other than WWE that they're just putting over everything. Like, come on, let's be realistic. Where would that shit happen? And then her finishing move is a fucking double knee, and that puts Nyla Rose down. That puts her down more than her doing a fucking senton onto a stack of chairs. I mean, and then we don't know if it's no disqualification or disqualification. Like what's going on? So I pretty much said my piece on it. I feel like it was a piece of shit. Then after the match, Nyla Rose, I guess they still wanted her to look strong. So she power bombs the guy, attacks Rio, but they make Rio look scared. And they make Nyla Rose look like this vicious monster. So she's tougher after she's lost than she was in the actual match. Then Kenny Omega comes and save her. So it was just a lot of shit. Almost gave me a fucking headache, man. And I'm gonna let you go.
Well,
that's shit.
I pretty much agree with most of everything you said. And I gotta be honest, you were relatively light about the whole situation. I can't see myself doing that. So let me tell you right now, everybody that's listening, and if you ain't listening and you do, or if you are listening and other people aren't, pass it along. Give up on Nyla Rose being a monster heel from now on, because all of that shit just went out the window on Wednesday night. Because there is no possible fucking way that you can have a monster heel who has supposed to been a dominant person in the goddamn women's division with her size and strength and everything other than Awesome Kong. There's nobody else they've tried to just get over the size and strength in any shape, form, or capacity. And she has smashed opponents for the most part. That Battle Royale, she looked pretty dominant, except when she faced somebody else that had equal size and strength. You following me? So
right.
Now that's gone, because any casual viewer is gonna look at this shit and say, well, fuck, she's not that tough. She lost the fucking match to goddamn fucking somebody, a small child.
A fucking featherweight, not even a cruiserweight, a featherweight.
What kind of sense did this fucking make?
And it should have been a squash match.
It should have been. You are absolutely right. It would have made her look fucking unstoppable, and you had the stud of the division, in my personal opinion, and Dr. Britt Baker sitting there doing commentary. It would have been a great way to segue into that match.
I forgot she was on commentary.
Yeah, that would have been what that was for. I dominated this person, you're next. Hey, I want a piece of you. You're not going to do me like that because I'm not the size of a goddamn small child. Fuck. You know what? And then here's the thing that gets me. Okay, so you're having the fucking match. I'm not going to beat a dead horse on the rules because I just didn't understand how you pulling out all of these weapons and nobody's saying, hey, if you hit this or if you hit a person with this, you're disqualified. You didn't see any of that shit. Never should have happened to begin with. I don't agree with the whole weapon thing. Okay, right. Well, fuck that. Let's talk about some of the moves. Did you see the spot where she tried to fucking back body drop her out of the power bomb position and collapsed?
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna happen when you fucking 80 pounds.
Absolutely.
Some of this shit.
But she did the same thing on the top rope. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. You got to think about this shit when you got the casual viewer that is you're gonna have a lot of people who's putting eyes on your product for the first time because it's something different. And if their first impression of this shit is, hey, like, this is clearly fake, because there's no way in real life that you got a 200-pound person being fucking pressed by a 90-pound person. It must be some bullshit. Let me change the fucking channel. You're exposing the fucking business. What kind of shit?
That's why I turned the damn channel.
Are you fucking crazy? And then, okay, so you win the match or whatnot, and it's this big pop for it because everybody's entertained that's at this thing. I think most people are just happy to have something else to fucking watch, and I'm the same way. I get it, but okay. after that, you have a whole little thing and celebration with the guy, and she comes in and power bombs the fucking guy. Oh, all of a sudden, you want her to be a monster again. You've lost that. That shit's gone. So now, if I'm the casual fan and I'm looking at this, oh, you can power bomb a grown full size male, but you lost to a 90-pound woman. Right. And then it's contradictory. It's fucking schizophrenic booking. The match should have never been had in the first place, and if it was going to be had, it should have been kind of a squash match. And then you should have segued into Dr. Britt Baker, because that's clearly who the fuck you want to push in the division anyway. Fuck.
Absolutely. So why wouldn't you have Nyla Rose win, attack Rio afterwards? Because she's not done with her. Britt Baker do a run-in. Simple.
You know, it's not hard. And as far as this David and Goliath shit, let me tell you something. The best example of a David and Goliath match was Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong was scary as hell, but Gail Kim had to overcome. But Gail Kim was still about the size of a fully grown goddamn woman. It was somewhat believable. She pulled out a lot of stops to get to that point. It wasn't this hokey bullshit that showed people, hey, wrestling's fake, but you know what? Just watch it and suspend disbelief, but everything we're doing is fucking real. This is bullshit.
I think people got dumber watching that match. Anybody who people was like really invested into it.
You could have done this better. It should have never been had in the first fucking place.
Oh man, it just looked bad.
If you really wanted to get the women's division over, you had several options. You could have did this with Kylie Ray. You could have did it with Awesome Kong. Those would have been I would have bought that. I would have definitely bought that.
But then, where was the damn women's division? How about that? We only got 3 women on the show, not including Brandy Rose, but 3 women wrestlers.
She's not a wrestler. I'm not counting her.
Well, that's why I said not including Brandy Rose. I'm talking about female talent, but no Awesome Kong, none of the women in the Battle Royal. Like what's going on? So why don't you just have a shot of the women's division watching the match in the back? So
Can you explain the significance of one of your top guys coming out to save a woman he's not really associated with in the promotion?
Yeah, instead of the woman who's doing commentary, who's going to be in the title picture.
Maybe I'm missing something. Can you explain it to me?
I can't explain. I can't even explain most of the shit I saw on there. I really can't.
You know what?
Was he coming out as a boss or what?
It was bullshit. That's what the answer is.
It's just ridiculous.
Fucking cartoon character, schizophrenic ass bullshit. That's what the fuck I watch.
It's people having fun. Not you got a fucking monster on the other channel on Wednesdays who's not fucking playing around with you, and you put this shit on as your first show. Yeah, they might have beaten them in ratings, but give them time. People are gonna get out of that shit.
Put their belt together too.
Yeah, that belt is ass. Belt is ass. Oh, we forgot about one thing though. Moving on from this match, they had a segment for the tag team championship tournament.
Oh, with SCU, Phoenix, and Pentagon.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed that. I gotta be honest. I think the tag team division might be the hidden gem for that promotion because
Absolutely.
You don't see a lot of it. But I mean, I don't know.
I haven't been disappointed by the tag team division. That's for sure.
No, not at all. Not at all. They've actually done a decent job. I got to tip my hat to them. I've liked what I've seen, except for probably the Dark Order. Everybody else I've been okay with.
Yeah, those guys. No. Yeah, those private party guys I'm impressed with. SCU, of course. I've been watching Christopher Daniels and Kazarian for years since they were in TNA. And Scorpio Sky, I'm new to him, so he's
Lucha Bros are one of my personal favorites.
Oh, they're excellent. And then the addition of LAX. I didn't even know much about LAX because I haven't seen.
They're called Ortiz and
Santana now.
Yeah, they can't use that, so I understand. But yeah, no, I'm so far I've been thoroughly impressed with the tag teams. So,
Yeah, I think that's their bread and butter, the tag team division.
but that was a good segment, and it led into a brawl that was it didn't look crazy. I liked it. I
You
thought
got
that was good.
security guards and stuff, so that was a cool segment. That was cool, and the titles
They
look good.
eh, oh, definitely, and better than the women's title at least, motherfucker.
Telling you, man,
Okay,
that's it.
so I mean, after that, you get into the main event, and it's Omega and the Bucks against Santana and Ortiz and Jericho. And what did you think? I thought it was too much going on at one time.
It this kind of plays into that rules thing we were talking about. Okay, the match starts, then it goes on for a couple minutes, then you got the John Moxley comes in and attacks Kenny Omega. Then they had their little mini brawl, and it ends at a
I
conveniently
thought that was
placed.
gonna end the fucking match.
Like, why didn't it? Why did the match continue? That's the one thing that stood out. Like, why the fuck is the match still going on? Shouldn't that be like a damn disqualification, interference, something
Yeah.
like what's that should but it kept going. I mean, granted, I wasn't mad at the action that came afterwards because Ortiz and Santana was doing some great shit with the Bucks, and they looked amazing.
Again, there I go back to this. You gotta have somebody with the Bucks that's gonna carry the fucking match. Because if you don't, you get a bunch of flippy shit and high spots. And all I seemed to see from them was a lot of super kicks and flips and nothing else. So that's my 2 cents on the Bucks. Not a big fan. I don't think they're as good as some of the teams they even got on their own roster. Let's know one of the best. The best in the world. I think they are one of the best, but they're not the fucking best in the world. And
It's a lot of tag teams that's better than them. That's for sure.
the Briscoes, the Usos, the Revival, fucking to me, the Lucha Bros are better than them.
Lucha Bros
And
are
I
better
know
than
that
them.
pissed off a lot of you fucking. Oh, I love Bullet Club. I love the Elite, but I gotta be honest, I'm not a very big Young Bucks fan. I'm
Just gonna
sorry.
say this: when they want to talk about the Bullet Club is in WWE. The heart and soul of the Bullet Club is in WWE. You're not gonna be able to recreate that. You're not gonna be able to get that same energy from anybody or anything in any fucking promotion. It's nothing better than the originators, and that shit was built on the back of Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and guys that they were with at that time. So you're not gonna get that in AEW. This is
But
completely different.
again, it's a list of people to me, or a list of teams to me that are better than the Bucks. I just
Yeah,
think they do a lot
absolutely.
of high spot flippy shit. They not a very technical tag team, and they need somebody to carry them. So in regards to your comments about Ortiz and Santana, that's what this was.
Right.
Every match I've Bucks wrestled so far, they've had a better team that's doing all the heavy lifting, but they getting the glory on the high
Yeah, they
spots.
could do the technical shit. Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. And Chris Jericho, man, dude is on the apron like the whole time, but he's putting it. Oh, he's bringing so much to the match, and he's not even involved in the action. During most of the match. That's just how good he is. Then we move on to okay. Now this was weird to me. It seemed like everybody had a turn to run in. It seemed the run in seemed too planned, if you know what I mean. Because it seemed like,
Yeah.
okay, this person ran in. Okay, they're down. This person runs in. Okay, now them.
Hey, hold on. Not to cut you off. Just hold that thought. I got to back up and address this.
Okay,
Did you see the fucking spot where Moxley suplexes Omega through the fucking table?
was that a suplex or a brain bust? I don't know. It looked
I
like an
don't
awkward
fucking,
ass move.
but it looked dangerous as fuck.
Absolutely.
And it shouldn't have been done. That's my opinion. And what the fuck was he yelling out? Because it looked like he was clutching his leg, and I'm saying, I hope this motherfucker didn't just hurt himself. It was like they purposely wanted to do something. I had a problem with that spot, and I also have a problem with this. Kenny Omega has been taking an ass whipping since this promotion started. There ain't been a time he ain't got his ass whipped. Was this losing a match? He got his ass whipped at Double or Nothing both times. Once by Jericho, once by fucking John Moxley in the same night. He lost the fucking Pac in what I thought was a pretty good fucking match. He's
That
fucking
was.
got his ass whipped. You're not doing a very good job of making the casual viewer who don't know Kenny Omega from on this side of the world think that this he's taking some ass whippings.
He's taking some definite ass whoopings. Like, and I just retweeted something today from somebody on Twitter at Mr. Impact _blog. He said some of the realest shit I seen today. And matter of fact, me and you told me this yesterday, and he kind of just brought it back up to my attention. It says, unpopular opinion, Omega isn't the same as he was in Japan. And that's true. Omega in Japan was a whole different monster, just like John Moxley in Japan is a whole different monster. It's different. This shit, I don't know who these two guys are. I like that shit looks bad.
My thing with Omega here, he don't have the luxury of working with people weren't familiar with other. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. New Japan did a great job of putting him over. And then they also gave him who I consider the best fucking wrestler in the world today to work with, Kazuchika Okada. Okada kind of pushed him to another level. But even when Kenny became the best bout machine in Japan and he's putting on all these fucking matches and shit like that over there, I mean, okay, look what he was working with. Look at how New Japan is set up. But He was big over there. Unless you were a diehard fan who was willing to get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and fucking watch this guy over in Japan at a Wrestle Kingdom event or whatever the fuck it was, or the G1 or whatever he was doing, you don't know who he really fucking is. And I think him coming here, you have to reacclimate yourself with a different viewing audience. People don't know you like that, and you aren't it's different. People know who John Moxley is. They might not know him as John Moxley, but they know he's the guy that used to be in the fucking Shield. Does that make sense?
Right, it makes sense.
So
some people probably still call him Dean Ambrose.
Right. I don't know, man. I mean, I just, I think they need to figure out what they want to do with Kenny, because you run the risk, I think, in the long term of if you keep this up, because most people aren't familiar with him who aren't hardcore fans of AEW, of the Elite, of the Bullet Club, of New Japan, that knows who he is. If you're a casual person and you new to this, hey, this guy's getting his ass whipped all the time. Like, what's so special about him? And I think they're going to have to do something about that at some point. But, I mean, again, all I have read, if I didn't know Kenny Omega from a year and a half or so ago, all I know is every time I see him, he's getting his ass beat.
Right, and it'll be like he didn't live up to the hype.
So, they're going to have to do something with that. I don't know, even if they turn it into a road to redemption story where he's trying to get his mojo back and become the top guy, he has to climb his way back up. But right now, he ain't looking too good.
No. I mean, hopefully this Moxley thing kind of, balloons into something far more bigger. Maybe they can stretch it out.
A good fucking job of explaining why he attacked him. You just assumed that everybody understood you picking up where you left off from the last fucking event because Moxley caught a staph infection.
Well, it's a lot of that going on. They're making us figure it out for ourselves.
Right. I know that, and you know that, and probably some of our listeners know it because they keep up with this shit. But if I'm just watching this for the first time, hey, why is that guy attacking him?
Yeah, there's no video package saying their history or anything.
Right. There's no explanation at all. This probably shouldn't even happen like it did that last night or whatever. I think they should have kind of waited and saved that up. or they could have even did that at the very end of the fucking match. And it would have
Right.
made a lot more sense to go into the following week's show and explain why the fuck it happened and give a backstory. But they could have did it going in, and then fucking it goes off, and then the next week, we're gonna address the attack that John Moxley got put on Kenny Omega due to so and so. But you just fucking run a guy out there in the middle of a fucking match, no explanation, no nothing, and then he beats his ass and puts him through a fucking coffee table. Why, I don't fucking know. Meanwhile, you trying to fucking have this match in the front that you keep flashing to, and you trying to keep up with a brawl at the same time. So I got fucking Tourette's at this point. I don't know who to watch and what to pay attention to because there ain't no backstory on this attack. I'm talking as if I'm attacking this as a casual guy that's watching
Right.
it first. You know, so I don't know whether to watch that shit in the back, but then I'm trying to watch this fucking match because there's something going on here or whatnot. But then I kind of really wonder, what the fuck is this guy? What's wrong with him? He just attacked it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's too much going on and not enough explaining in this shit. They're going to have to do a better job. And we're about to get to that as we close out the AEW section of this show. If you can't explain to me why this shit's going on and you just start putting on matches for the sake of putting on matches, then this ain't going to hold up very well.
Absolutely not.
I didn't see a sign of any storytelling other than maybe that segment with SCU and the Lucha Bros. You got some kind of explanation out of that, or whatever. But everything else, I mean, what story are you fucking telling? They did a somewhat good job of explaining why it was very important Cody won that match against Guevara because it could change the championship landscape if he lost the match. I thought that was done well. But outside of it, there's no backstories. There's no fucking, no histories. There's no development of story. I can't watch a show every week and just watch wrestling matches with no fucking stories. And you can't assume that everybody's going to watch this Being the Elite shit and watch the story there, but listen to the matches on television. You're going to have to be able to tell the story and hold my attention for weeks at a time.
Yeah, and it's not us being assholes. It's just us being, call us smarks if you want to. I don't give a fuck. I just want to see some good product.
God, I don't give a fuck what you call me. It got to make fucking sense. If I just fucking watched if I love Game of Thrones. If I just, every time I turned on Game of fucking Thrones and I watched it, they just having a battle or somebody's dying and I don't have an explanation or a build up, I'm going to just kind of be sitting there watching random acts of fucking violence. It doesn't make fucking sense. It doesn't hold my attention.
Yeah, just like, why the fuck wasn't Moxley hurt after falling through that table too? He fell through the table more than fucking Omega did.
That's the part I was saying. Like, he was kind of clutching his knee and saying something, but they kind of flashed to it and then they flashed back. It just was too much fucking going on. It never should have been done to begin with. And if it was going to be done, it should have been done better. Probably, wouldn't it have made more sense for him to do this to him pre-match?
Right.
If you're going to have it in the back, you could have done, you had all night to do this. So it kind of makes, it's just senseless violence for the sake of fucking violence because I want to do something to fucking grab attention, or whatever.
And that shit only shortens your career.
Yeah.
That's it.
You can't keep, I mean, they already he threw Kenny off the top of a platform at Double or Nothing and fucking he took a massive bump. Then he had this going on. Hopefully he's all right. I mean, you can't keep doing this shit. You can't. I get they want to be, edgy, but at some point you're gonna have to do a better job. You don't have to always crash through something or fucking set something on fire or for people to throw the babies in the air, so to speak. Sometimes the simple shit will work. Don't try to do 10 shit and make it a 4 or a 5 and instead of doing 5 shit and it's a 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. And people don't try to come at us saying, "Oh, well, they beat them in the ratings." Of course, they're gonna beat them in the ratings. It's their first show. People already acquainted with NXT.
Let's apply some common fucking sense.
Yeah.
Do I want to see something I always see, or do I want to see something I've never seen? That's
right. Exactly.
Now, again, just so people don't think we bashing the show, they did some good things.
Absolutely.
energy. I love the fucking. I thought that at least 3 matches on that card were great. I thought that they had a really good ending to the show, which we about to jump into real quick. I mean, that's if they can end the show like that, that makes a lot of fucking sense, and that gives you an idea. Okay, where are we going with this now? That I got something I can watch next week to look for and see if they cover. Now, if they don't do anything with this, then you're idiots because you had to. At the end of the match, you had the big run, you had the big fucking beat down, and then the run in from Cody, and then Guevara comes in and he fucking double crosses Cody, and then fucking you have Dustin Rhodes come in and clean house, and then the pop of the night went to the debut or appearance of Jack
Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger.
Swagger. That's what I know him as. But
I still call him Jack Swagger.
Yeah, Jake Hager, and I thought he looked phenomenal. It was a big run-in. That's a big signing. Here's my only question. He also does MMA. So is he a part-time guy? Is he a full-time guy? Was this a fucking one-time appearance? If this was a one-time appearance, you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
I definitely think it's a part-time thing. He's going to do both, but probably concentrate on wrestling right now until his next fight.
Okay. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and let's see what they do. But I definitely need to see him do something next week. I at least want a segment, a promo. They need more fucking promos.
We didn't see any promos, really.
Yeah, where are the fucking talking points at?
Too many, they had some interviews, but then, I don't know.
They did things well. This is the first episode. Again, we're not being hard. We're telling you what we like. And I know some of y'all are gonna say, "Oh, this is bullshit," and you don't know what good wrestling is. That's
you tell me that, I'm gonna tell you suck a dick backwards. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want it to make sense. If I'm sitting here fucking feeling like I have schizophrenia after I watch something, then I'm probably not. You're not doing a very good job holding my. But again, they got some kinks to work out. They even had some issues with the announcing and some of the things that were said on live television that you normally ain't supposed to be fucking saying. So I think it'll get itself worked out. Overall, I think it was a pretty good show. I gave it a B- overall. I thought, it's not bad for a start. It got the juices flowing. It's getting you into it. They got some stuff they need to work on. And if they improve next week and then they improve the week after that, then I'll feel better about it. For the first time out or whatnot, not bad. I'm good. And this could
they
be
just have a few things to tweak.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll see some of the same shit next week.
It could be the start of an actual wrestling war. Let's jump into NXT real quick, and then I want to hit some high-level points, and we'll get out of here. Obviously, NXT was competing directly with AEW's Dynamite, and I think it's a safe assumption to say Wednesday night is going to be the go-to night for wrestling.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if they realize it, but they may have taken more eyes off of Raw and SmackDown and put them on Wednesday nights now because there's no other show going against Raw and SmackDown. But you got what people really consider the best promotion in WWE going against another promotion. So a lot of people think NXT is the best that WWE has to offer. And I got to think that they're not idiots. They realize that that's really why they put it on Wednesday night. Or whatnot at the same time or in the same time spot. But, I mean, we'll see. AEW, AEW is AEW. I'm sorry. God damn it. NXT. NXT
always delivers.
Yeah, it always delivers. Here's my one thing I'm finna get on them about. And this going to apply to everybody. You can't come out here every night and put all your chips on the table. And I feel like that's what everybody did this week. You had the title match between Adam Cole and Matt Riddle to kick off the show. Am I correct? I believe that's what happened. They've never. First of all, the NXT title was actually held in more reverence than that. You don't see that shit happen often. If the NXT title is defended, it's defended at a takeover.
Right.
It's special. You don't see that shit all the time. Now
Right.
you might see the tag title, you might even see the North American title or the
Every now and then.
NXT. But to see the NXT title itself, that's actually they tell stories and do segments for the NXT title. So I get you going head to head and you got competition, but I would be remiss to see that again. But either way, it's Matt Riddle, Adam Cole. You can't go wrong with that. They had some good spots on NXT or whatnot. I think the biggest thing for me is I'm getting a dream match, Balor and Adam Cole. I'm doing backflips. But at the same time, I'm also cursing because why the fuck is is Finn Balor on fucking NXT? Why?
Well, from what I know, they're gonna be shuttling different main roster superstars over to NXT from
It's
time to time.
developmental.
I don't even think they're trying to treat it as developmental anymore since it's
Well, that's not
a
what
direct
Omega
competitor.
said.
Yeah, well, shit. Kenny Omega also said that he's one of the greatest, and he hasn't been looking like that. So
You're gonna get a lot of heat for that
I don't
shit.
give a fuck. I stay with the heat. It's about winter time's about to come. Bring all the heat you got.
Oh, this motherfucker. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Do you feel like it's gonna taint the waters of NXT a little bit if they're doing that? Now, I would personally like to see Finn Balor on the fucking show full time. At least he get used the way he's supposed to be used.
Yeah, I mean,
But
dude built NXT.
he
If
did.
you if you really if we really want to get down to it, Finn Balor built NXT.
Him and
Okay, because
Nakamura and the matches they had were fucking amazing. That's
great matches, great matches.
some of
Finn
my
Balor
fucking.
was he was an NXT champion for a while too. That's where he honed the demon. I mean, that's where the demon was born. So Finn Balor in NXT is always something good. Only thing I don't know if that will be the match that we're getting right off the bat. If it'll be Adam Cole versus Finn Balor or Adam Cole versus a returning Ciampa, which shocked the fuck out of me. I expected him to be down for like 8 months, but I'm probably jumping ahead. But Finn Balor in NXT, yeah, I'm liking that. I have no problem. That pop was huge.
Who do you get a better show to?
The better show NXT hands down. Matter of fact, I did a poll on Twitter about that. Just right after the first matches took place on AEW and NXT, I put a poll up on Twitter saying who had the best first match. Was it Riddle
Clearly,
versus
it's
Cole?
fucking NXT.
Absolutely. 65% said Riddle and Cole. 18% said Cody and Sammy. Obviously, they were high. And another 18% said both were awesome. So,
Well, you're gonna have to get the fanatics they do for a while.
right.
It's gonna be a little crazy for a minute, but I'm gonna tell you like this: if you don't do something to start holding people's attention, eventually the pizzazz is gonna wear off.
Right.
And they go for NXT too, and Raw and SmackDown. All of a sudden, I love the resurgence because you're getting stuff that you normally wouldn't see, but somebody's gonna have to say, okay, we came out the gate running hard. Now let's dial it back and start because I need to be able to hold your attention 4 weeks out of a month. 52 weeks out of a year. I'm on TV all year round. Just give you. I can't start off giving you big chunks of stuff, and keep giving it to you because the first time I want to give you small shit, you're gonna start. Every show ain't gonna be a knockout. So somebody's gonna have to start saying, okay, let's get back to, quality matches here and there, but telling good stories. I as a fan growing up during the Attitude Era and everything else, I watched the fucking wrestling for the stories more than anything else. I wanted to
Right.
see,
Great
a lot
storytelling.
of angles. Yeah, when you could follow NWO, that was a good story. The fucking when you the fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin rise to be champion, that was a good story. The Rock in 2000, that was a good fucking story, and his whole journey to being the guy. Fucking the the stories are endless. You there if I don't just want matches all day long. I enjoy that, but I also need to understand why you can't just put two guys in the ring and have them put on this amazing match, and there's no reason why they're doing it. They're just doing it because then again, that's senseless violence. Even the MMA has a build up. UFC has a build up to a fight.
Right.
Whether it's two guys that don't like each other or they fucking had it out at the goddamn press conference or whatever the fuck. There's some kind of backstory that I can pull from to be like, these guys may like each other outside of the octagon, but goddamn it, the build up to this fight, well, they don't like each other. There's got to be something there for me to hold on to.
Right. It has to be just like an action movie. It has the plot.
Right.
That's what makes the action movie, well, the action fight scene in the action movie stand out. The story building up to it. If you just got two guys fighting on the screen, it's not going to really do anything. But if you have a story building up to it, then that's where the bread and butter is. Just got to have a story with it. And AEW is not telling stories.
Well, not yet. Again, it's the first episode.
First show.
Yeah, I don't think they did a bad job. They definitely ended on a great note. I thought the ending was great. That it kind of gave me WCW vibes a little bit.
Yeah, it started good and ended good.
Right. So if they can get the middle to make sense, they'll be fine. Again, they did some good stuff. They did some great stuff. They also did some shit stuff, but overall, not bad. And you got to remember, this company is being ran by guys that ain't never done this before. This is legitimately a company being ran by active wrestlers. It's going to be some learning curves. But the problem is when you poke a bear, there ain't no learning curve for defending yourself for fucking killing.
Absolutely. And you got to be ready for who you're going against. You got to make sure you know your opponent.
Right. You didn't come out the gates being docile and saying we just want to fucking give fans another platform to look at. You came out saying we want to be the premier wrestling company and we're not doing bullshit. You already done started something. So since we here now and shit, you might as well fucking get it right. And that's all I'm asking. If they do this right, then fuck, you got a company, you got an alternative form of wrestling that's good for the business, good for the fan, good for everybody involved for years to come. Even if it's only 5 or 10 years to come. But and I'll say this and then we'll get out of here. I don't think long term the fans are looking at it from that perspective. Can they sustain what they're doing 10 years, 15 years? 20. Will we be 40 years old and fucking they're still around? That's going to be question. The big. Are they going to do something that is going to be sustainable for at least? And I'll set the goal short term. Like, will they be around in 3 years?
And the first few years of a promotion are always the hardest. From what I've heard.
Yeah, and I would that would be what my goal and my starting point for them would be. Get through the first year, get through the second year, and then really start to kind of say, okay, we know what we want to do the third. And this might be able to actually be something, but you're going to have to do something to sustain. And always doing something to acknowledge, oh, we're better than the competition. That's great, but can you sustain it? And I think that's going to be the biggest thing. And I think that fans need to be realistic and say, hey, as much as we like seeing another product, there's going to be a learning curve here, and we need to be honest about that learning curve, or you'll end up right back where you started from because WWE will be the only game in town.
Once again.
Right. Good start, not great, but not bad either. But good start, I like to see more. I like to see improvements, and I like to see improvements quickly. If they making improvements on the fly and saying, okay, we tried this last week, it didn't work so well, let's go here. Or we tried
Absolutely.
this, you know, then
And they got to
okay,
come with it. They got to come
right.
with it because NXT had a great show. That I give that show a fucking A. It was just
Now,
not a dull
if
moment.
and the thing about the EVP and the thing about it is one of your EVPs said this is where you're going head to head against a developmental show. If you can't beat the development show, how the hell would you be able to compete with the big show?
Exactly.
So, and I don't get why Kenny said that stupid shit because to me, a lot of these guys, whether he wants to admit it or not, and if he don't admit it, he's fucking terrible, and he shouldn't be an EVP or anything else in anybody's wrestling promotion. You would kill to have a lot of those guys on that fucking roster right
They
now.
tried to get some of
Or
those
AEW.
guys and girls on that roster, and they couldn't get them.
Well, fuck. Would it happen to maybe have something to do with the fact you think I'm just developmental talent?
Also has a lot to do with the fact that you're not proven in this field. You're not
It's gonna
proven.
take some time. I mean, but I'm sure they'd kill to have a Finn Balor
Absolutely.
or an Adam Cole or Riddle or a
Oh,
Velveteen Dream. You know,
absolutely.
it's not just developmental. I mean, I get what you're coming from as far as the competition, but that's bullshit.
Yeah, some of
And there's
these
a better
guys and
way to say
girls
it.
in NXT are actually veterans. Some of them have been wrestling for 5 years, 10 years. So they're not exactly extremely green to the business. They've been wrestling a while. It's just developmental to the form of storytelling because they're building them
Yeah.
up to an audience that hasn't seen them on the indie circuit.
So right, so that when they push them out on the mainstream, oh, I know this guy from so and so. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, like no, but again, overall, we're not saying we hated it, but we sure as fuck didn't.
We gave good notes.
I wasn't, I wasn't doing backflips, but
Yeah,
hell, that's to be expected. I'm looking at it from an objective standpoint. I like both products. I want both of them to do well because you see
yeah,
now that like wrestling is a thing again. We never thought we'd see that ever again.
yeah.
So I mean, man, I'm excited. I can't wait till next week. Now, folks, obviously we won't do a review every week on AEW. We might
Nope.
do it every now and again, but we just thought that it'd be a big thing to kind of kick off the Wednesday Night Wars with our take on mainly Dynamite and what we thought compared against NXT. But again, we're still gonna continue with our Dark Side of the Ring series and finish that up. We got some other projects in the works. But hopefully you've enjoyed our take on the beginning of what we hope is another real legitimate wrestling war. And if you didn't like it, please listen anyway. Reach out to us on Twitter at best underscore podcast and
Damn
keep
underscore podcast.
what the fuck did I say?
Best underscore podcast.
Oh fuck!
Why didn't we do
damn,
that instead of damn podcast?
huh?
Why didn't we do that instead of damn podcast?
I don't fucking know. It's too
Oh,
late to do the thing now. Shit,
that's true.
I'm fucking confused. Yeah, but check us out at damn underscore podcast. Keithan obviously has been very active on there.
Haha. I stay active.
We welcome feedback, good, bad, indifferent. I mean, if you're talking to us, that means you're listening, and we really appreciate
You'll
it.
get a response.
Yeah, right. You will get a response. Now, but again, that means you're listening, and we really appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. Our last several episodes we've done big numbers, but the biggest we've ever done on this show, and we just hoping to continue to keep growing and bring you stuff you like, and maybe even stuff you don't like, because hell, somebody's got to tell the truth. But
Yep.
Until next time, this has been another episode of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, and happy wrestling.